Hi everyone, this is Sven. I'm back here with Melanie Greene. She is a user experience designer. She's a former PACE student and she now works in Silicon Valley. So I'll let Melanie introduce herself a little further. Melanie?
Oh, thank you so much, Sven, and hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be talking with you. And as Sven mentioned, I'm a graduate from the PACE class of 2017. I graduated with a BS in Information Technology with a minor in marketing. And I'm so passionate about the intersection between business and technology. And I started out my education experience at PACE being an undecided Dyson major, and to be able to navigate my college experience and really find myself. And I found that so valuable with all the classes that Seidenberg and PACE offers to really enable me to find who I am and help me decide the type of career that I would like to have for myself. So about a month after I graduated, I moved to Silicon Valley and started my career as a UX designer. And it was such an incredible honor to be able to move from my hometown in New York City to get to work in the essentially the capital of tech in the world. And that was such an incredible opportunity for me to get to learn and network with credible minds in the industry. And Seidenberg and PACE really helped me and get me set up for success to enable that to actually happen. So I'm really grateful for that and to be here today to talk to you about my experience. So thank you, Sven. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. And you recently moved into a more marketing role, right? Could you talk a bit about that and how you moved from being a UX designer into that?
Sure, happy to. So I was about a little over 7, 8 months now when I actually made the switch. And something that made it happen was I really find value in networking. I was actually recommended to this role from upper management within my organization. And I think what really helped was building that relationship with my peers to enable me to be the person that they recommended for this role. And something that I found so valuable is that technology is such a vast industry. And even though I started out in design, there's so many different areas in technology. You could be a developer, you can be a technical writer, you could be in marketing, which I'm doing right now. And it's all about how do we create in very enticing language and be able to market our product in the technology realm. In our company, we specialize in backup and recovery. So as we know, with like backing up our data to make sure that we can access it at any point in time and making sure that it's secure so that nobody could hack into it. So it's all about how do we make it creative so it sounds interesting to everyone who reads it. So it's all about like how do we draw people in? And that's what I'm doing right now. It's spinning the lens of technology, making it fun and putting a marketing angle in it.
And has technology, like in the time since you've graduated, and what you learned from then and from when you first started working, has technology kind of changed in any significant ways? And has that impacted the way you do your work?
That's a really interesting question. I think especially now with the way that we're working today with COVID and how we had to adjust our working environment, I think that was the biggest shift because before it was even before COVID happened, being able to connect with people all over the globe. We have offices in several different geographical regions from Europe to India to parts of Asia. So being able to connect with everyone and now being able to connect with people even all throughout the country where we would be meeting in a conference room and now having to rely so heavily on all of our telecommunication softwares that we have, being Zoom or WebEx, and just being able to rely on that so heavily. So I think that has provided such a big shift in such a positive light, I feel, because I think it's really allows us to collaborate on such a new mediums that we've experienced before, but I think now it's so much more where we have to really communicate and connect with people all over the globe. So I think that shift really was definitely very helpful, I feel, in the collaboration aspect to get everyone's perspective in and to make sure that we're all collaborating as much as we can.
Yeah, awesome. And could you just talk a bit more about kind of the relationship between creativity and technology and how they influenced each other?
That's a really great point that you bring up about creativity and technology, because I feel like we're such a data-driven and technology-driven society and culture that I feel that you could find any of your interests and apply that to technology. And I feel so strongly that in technology, I feel like there's a little bit of something in there for everyone. And being able to for example, as a designer, like when you think of your favorite app, if you want to think about like the New York Times or Facebook or Instagram, all of that, it's driven by creativity and just trying to be problem solvers and finding a solution to any problem that you may have and applying that design thinking, that critical thinking to allow you to solve a problem. And you can design for it. You can be essentially, I like to call us as like the problem solvers, kind of like a detective where we're trying to be creative and find a solution to enable us to solve that problem. So I think being able to apply that creativity and that creative lens to technology is so valuable, because without that, it's really interesting to think where we wouldn't be today without that creative lens. And everything from the iPhone, which I just love, and how simple and intuitive that experience is. Like, it's all really come from like, how do we solve problems and make it simple and intuitive to use. So I think that area of creativity, it's really sparks, I think, our technology and our revolution that we've come over the years.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up kind of the iPhone, just because I think it owes its success so much to its design and simplicity. And I'm really glad that you mentioned being a problem solver, right? Because you can be a problem solver in any industry you're in. And that's something you can apply so broadly and yet so specifically. So yeah, thank you for mentioning that.
My pleasure. Happy to.
I'll ask you.
With you.
Thanks. I'll ask you one more question, which is, what could students apply from everything that you've just said? If you could kind of summarize it into a tip for success in their current classes and in CIS 101, for example.
That's a really great one. I think definitely something that helped me and what I've been learning in my career thus far, having worked about 3 years in the industry full time, it's that really this is the time right now to explore and get to know yourself and get to understand what I like and even what I don't like, and then utilizing your network and meeting people. I think the power in connecting with others and really building relationship is so important and so vital in getting to help and shape your career. And I think really applying that lens of curiosity just to learn, because you don't know what's out there unless you ask someone or you research it or you get to talk to someone. So I think having that lens where you connect with people and really connect with the Seidenberg community, connect with fellow alumni like myself, happy to always connect and share my experiences. And I think there's so value in just talking with people and just asking questions. I think that will really set you up for success, and always asking for help. I think there's so much power in asking someone for help or just talking with someone about maybe a problem that you're having and helping to work together and brainstorm a solution. I think that value of connecting with people and collaborating, it's such a power that'll be success in your college career as well as thereafter and what you decide to do.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you very much. I'm sure the students will really appreciate this conversation. So students, thank you again. Have a great week. We'll be back with some more tech experts.
Thank you.